You've heard it a million times, right? They say it takes 21 days to change your life. But have you ever actually stopped to ask why? Why that number? Why not 20 or 50? Is it just some motivational fluff or is there actually something to it? See, most of us hear 21 days and we kind of just write it off. But what if it isn't some random number? What if it's the literal blueprint for rewiring your brain, for smashing old habits, and for building new ones that can actually, seriously, change your life? Well, that's exactly what we're going to get into. But first, let's be real for a second. Does this whole cycle sound familiar? You wake up one morning, you're totally fired up, and you promise yourself, this is it. I'm doing it. And the first couple of days, they're a breeze. You're riding that wave of excitement. But then, well, life happens. And one missed day turns into two turns into a week, and before you know it, you're right back at square one. It's so frustrating, and it makes you wonder why real change feels almost impossible. So what's the deal? Is this whole 21-day thing a myth? Or is it the answer we've all been looking for? Turns out, the secret isn't about luck or just having more willpower. It's about understanding the science behind that number, and more importantly, knowing how to use it the right way.
And here's the absolute key takeaway. Lasting change is not about motivation. Motivation comes and goes. This is about physically rewiring your mind. Think of that 21-day period as the minimum time needed to take something that feels hard and requires tons of effort and turn it into something that feels, well, automatic.
So where did this whole idea even come from? Well, it wasn't cooked up by some influencer last week. The story actually starts in a place you would probably never, ever guess: a plastic surgeon's office. Seriously, back in the 1950s, there was this plastic surgeon, Dr. Maxwell Maltz, and he started noticing this weird pattern. He saw that after a procedure like a nose job or even something as major as an amputation, it took his patients about 21 days to get used to their new reality. For 3 weeks, they'd still kind of see their old reflection. Now, fast forward to today, and neuroscience shows us exactly what was going on. Our brains literally forge new pathways when we do something over and over again. So these neural pathways, think of them like hiking trails in your brain. The first time you do something new, it's like hacking your way through a thick forest with a machete. It's tough. But every time you repeat that action, you're walking that same path, tamping it down. After about 21 days of doing it consistently, that bumpy little dirt track becomes a 6-lane superhighway. The new habit doesn't feel forced anymore. It feels normal. It's automatic. You're not just doing a new thing, you're becoming a person who does that thing. But listen, this is where most people get it wrong. They know about the 21 days, but they don't have a strategy. They just jump in without a real blueprint, and then they wonder why they failed. So, let's get into that blueprint. We're going to break down 5 non-negotiable rules you need to follow to make this thing stick. Okay, here they are, the 5 pillars of the 21-day challenge. Number 1, win the small battles. Number 2, be hyper-specific. Number 3, you gotta cut the noise. 4, practice gratitude. And 5, think beyond yourself. All right, let's dive into each one. Let's talk about the single biggest reason people crash and burn. They try to do way too much, way too soon. They decide they're going to go to the gym for 2 hours a day, read an entire book, quit sugar cold turkey, and start a side hustle. All on day 1. I mean, come on, that's like deciding you're going to run a marathon when you haven't even jogged to the end of your street. It is a guaranteed recipe for burnout. Instead, you have to win the small battles first. That's how you build real momentum. So what does that look like? You want to wake up earlier? Don't set your alarm for 5 a.m. right away. Start by waking up just 15 minutes earlier. Want to get in shape? Forget the huge workout. Just start with 10 push-ups a day. These tiny, consistent wins, they create a snowball effect, and that momentum is what builds discipline that actually lasts. Okay, rule number 2. I want to be healthier is not a plan, it's a wish. You need goals that are clear, measurable, and undeniable. Just look at the difference here. I want to read more is totally vague, but in 21 days, I will finish 1 book. That's a real commitment. You see, specificity turns a fuzzy dream into something you can actually grab onto and achieve. This one is huge. You know how it goes. You start the day super motivated, and then your phone buzzes. You get pulled into social media, your focus just gets completely shattered. For these 21 days, you need to treat this like a mission. Seriously, turn off those notifications, limit the endless scrolling, stay away from the things that trigger your old bad habits. You have to fiercely protect your focus and your progress. Now, this next one might sound a little soft, but I promise you it is incredibly powerful. A lot of people quit, not because something is too hard, but because they're only focused on the struggle, on what they feel like they're giving up. So try this. Every morning, just take 30 seconds. That's it. And think of 3 things you are genuinely grateful for. It completely shifts your mindset. Suddenly, change stops feeling like a punishment and starts feeling like a privilege. And finally, remember this. Your transformation, it's bigger than just you. I guarantee someone is watching you, a friend, a family member, maybe even the person you hope to become. So when you feel like quitting, remember that your struggle, your discipline, it just might be the spark that inspires someone else to start their own journey. That sense of purpose, that's the rocket fuel that will get you through the tough days. All right, we're here. This is the moment where you can either click away from this and let it become just another piece of information, or you can actually decide to make a change. We've walked through the why and the how. Now it's time to act. So here's the challenge. It all starts with the number 1. Don't try to overhaul your entire life overnight. Pick one thing, just one single habit, and commit to it 100% for the next 21 days. No I'll try, no excuses, just pure, focused action on that one single goal. Because you know what? This isn't really about 21 days. It's about becoming the type of person who follows through. The person who doesn't just talk about making a change, but actually does it. So, the only question left to ask is, who will you be in 21 days?